What's up, guys? Coming at you with another movie buff. Getting into the Joker. This has been the long-awaited movie of the year for most people. Definitely an anticipated movie for me. I just didn't know how to feel when I saw the trailer and heard the plot and the synopsis. It's not going to be connected to the DC universe as is. It's not necessarily going to be connected to Batman. So I really didn't know how to feel. I was excited because it sounded like this could elevate the genre of comic book movies. And, you know, they were comparing it to like a Taxi Driver and stuff like that. And, you know, Robert De Niro, you know, that was when he was like, you know, super young. And I just recently went back and watched that. And that movie is not for me. It's not because it's hard to watch. It's just not good. I understand his you know, descent into madness and all that, but I think that this movie will be our generation's Taxi Driver, if that makes any sense. Like, my dad and my mom, like, they might have felt the way we feel about the Joker, about Robert De Niro in that movie. But I wouldn't compare it to that. There's similarities, but this movie is so much more than that. This movie is literally riveting. Like, it like, you feel like the gamut of emotions in this movie, and some of it's uncomfortability. And if anybody really knows anything about the true Joker in the comics and stuff, he's psychotic. He is mad. He is completely insane, and it's there's a way that a person gets there. And, you know, the Killing Joke is probably the most notable origin for the Joker's story. And, you know, he's a failed comedian in that, and this kind of takes that, as, you know, you see him in the previews and stuff. He's getting made fun of by Robert De Niro as being a failed comedian and stuff. This movie has a lot of Easter eggs for the hardcore, you know, DC and Batman followers, which I really appreciated because I'm one of those. But it like I said, it transcends the genre. So this is not just, I wouldn't categorize this as like, oh, comic book movie. This movie is probably going to win every award under the sun. It's already won the Golden Lion at the film awards and everything. You know, Joaquin Phoenix he's amazing. I mean, this performance that he gives is literally breathtaking. And in as far as breathing it, sometimes it's hard to breathe even in this movie, just because it's so thick with emotion. And for him to go to this place was just amazing, man. Was just insanity. You know, he's obviously a different guy, but I think that, you know, all the method type actors that really dive deep into the roles, you know, that's where we get these great renditions of characters and stuff. And, you know, the role of the Joker is just one of those where you kind of have to go into a dark place to get into. But this is going to be more of a true to life Joker. So what would have to happen in place for a man to descend into madness as far down as the Joker does, in order to do the things he does, and not only to do them, but to justify them in his mind. You know, this movie starts out, obviously, you know, this is a spoiler-free review, so not going to spoil anything. Everything I'm going to be saying is already out in the plot synopsis, or you can see in the previews. But Arthur Fleck is the Joker's name, which I honestly believe is a play on Affleck. You know, he was Batman when they started this, Affleck, and, you know, Joaquin also has, you know, family ties to Affleck and everything. So I think that's like a little wink, wink, like nod, like that's how we got to his name. Could be completely wrong, but it's hard to kind of like not see that. Arthur Fleck lives at home with his mom. It's a very codependent relationship. It's a very I mean, you see in the preview, like, he's giving her a bath and stuff. Like, it's a little bit too intimate of a relationship, but, you know, you can kind of tell he's a loner. He's not someone that has a lot of friends and, like, company. And the way they automatically set the stage with his laugh, like, the reason for it and the manicness behind it is there is a condition where you know, someone, when they get in an uncomfortable position or they don't know what to say or they're too happy or too sad or too frustrated, they just laugh uncontrollably. It is a real condition. And Arthur Fleck has this, and even in the previews, you can kind of see him, you know, like, kind of like, it almost looks like painful when he's laughing. It's especially when you watch the movie, it comes through that way. Like, he doesn't even want to do it. It's like it's choking him. He can't catch his own breath. But he can't stop, and he has this little card, and you know, he gives it to people and basically says, like, hey, this is my condition, you know, please return this card. That way they know, well, this is just some freakazoid, you know. So that was really clever, because the laugh is very one of a kind. It's not, I'm not saying it's not menacing or blood curdling, because it is, but there's an explanation for why he's doing it all the time, even before he kind of switches mentally into what is the Joker. And, you know, the running theme for the Joker is, you know, one bad day. He's always telling Batman, you know, you're just like me. You're just one bad day away from being me. And that goes with everybody. Our society is just, you're just one bad day from just going off the rails completely. And, you know, there was a sequence of events that kind of happened to Arthur, and, you know, we're already looking at a mentally ill person that isn't being given attention, love, care, most things that we take for granted as humans, human beings. I mean, and he's deprived those things. So immediately there's a little bit of a sense of sadness in the movie for Arthur, and you don't necessarily it doesn't justify the things he does, but it makes it more understandable for the audience to, at first anyways, to realize, like, why would you act out so bad, you know? And, you know, he's been basically, like, ignored his entire life, and for the first time, after he kind of, I wouldn't say takes up for himself, but seizes the moment, you know, as my tattoos say, carpe diem. It's kind of like that. He seizes the moment, and he takes control of his life for the first time, and he loves that power that he feels. He gets addicted to that power, I feel like. And then he just doesn't want to go back to being ignored, being just somebody that someone just passes on the street, or, you know, girls never look at. He never has any connection with other humans and stuff. And whether it's good or bad, he's getting attention. And for him, I think that's the main thing. It's not like, oh, well, you know, this is a negative way to look at it. He's getting something. He's never gotten anything. So him getting something is more than he's got for most of his natural life. So the fact that, you know, he feels validated in his actions goes a long way in his own mind. And, you know, like I said, this is a spoiler-free, but there are some whoa moments, like whoa moments in this movie where you just can't believe what just happened. And it's gritty, and the way this movie is shot is heartbreaking, is full of drama. Like, the acting is, like I said, Joaquin is going to win every award and just walk through the Oscars this year, I feel like. You just kind of lose sight of seeing Joaquin Phoenix up there, and you just become Arthur Fleck. And then again, it transcends into him becoming the Joker from Arthur Fleck. So there's so much going on emotionally in you while you're watching it, seeing this guy go through all this pain and this trauma and this kind of this awakening in his own mind that stems from madness. And, you know, when there was the Dark Knight, there was the Aurora shootings or whatever in Colorado, so they stopped doing the premieres, and I don't even think Aurora's showing anything to do with the Joker because there was been these threats on these shooting ups. It's sad that we live in that world, but I was a little hesitant to go. So, you know, not say like don't be scared to get out and experience the world, but do take precautions on like where you're going, you know, to the theater. I mean, we go to a theater that's fully, you know, staffed with police officers with shotguns at the entrances. I mean, there's multi police officers and stuff in the buildings. So not saying it's foolproof, but it does make you feel safer and makes you feel like someone would be less likely to attempt something there than rather at like a small mom and pop theater or even just a chain that doesn't get very much traffic. So just keep that in mind when you're taking your loved ones to the Joker, just because there are things out there like that. There are horrible people out there that are doing that. So I just thought I would include that in this review because it's something that a lot of people aren't thinking about, and it's always a possibility in this world now, which is completely sad. But on back to the movie, it's a trip. I wouldn't even say it's a slow burn. It's just a kind of a long burn. It's not like you're like waiting. You know it's coming. You can anticipate, you know, something big, because you know there's gonna be a transformation into the Joker at some point, and you're kind of just waiting for that moment. And when it comes, you're completely ready for it as an audience member. You're just like, it's here. Once he is the Joker, and he's, you know, doing all the moves you see in the previews and stuff, he's just completely gone. There's nothing left of Arthur Fleck. There's nothing left of the person he was, of the attitude that he had, of the idiosyncrasies of that person. It's completely gone. And there's a lot of little even throwbacks to the old Jokers on like how, you know, the things that they did and the way that they looked and the way they acted and stuff. But at the same time, Joaquin makes this completely individualized, and it's on a whole nother level acting wise. So as where Jared Leto kind of, I wouldn't say made a mockery of the Joker. I love Jared Leto's Joker. I actually was Jared Leto's Joker for Halloween. You know, I thought it was awesome. It was a difficult costume to pull off, but I mean, that rendition is a real rendition of the Joker. There really is like a gangster-esque Joker that has, you know, the crazy tattoos and the jewelry and the Lambo and all that. There is a Joker like that in the comics, and people don't understand that, but that's where he was going for that inspiration. And there's no preset for this. There was no comic rendition of what Joaquin did. He just got into the zone, this dark space, and just created this character. And it's terrifying, and it's riveting, and it's emotionally unstable, and in every way possible that makes us glued to the screen and on your edge of your seat. Even if you're in a recliner, you feel that tension. Your body's just, you know, you're just waiting for that moment. And like I said, you know it's coming, but there's multiple hits in this movie where you're just like, whoa, you know, like, oh, holy shit, like I did not see that coming. It takes you on a journey to where you think you know what's happening, and then there's something that transpires. It's kind of like almost like an M. Night Shyamalan twist, and you're like, oh, okay, so that's where we're gonna go with this. So, guys, there's no question, go see this movie. You're not going to be disappointed. The only thing you're going to be is let down if you're going into this thinking you're going to go see like a Marvel type Avengers. This movie is not action packed. This movie is not full of special effects. This movie is lives and breathes in the actor and the cinematography and the way the movie was shot and the drama and the storytelling and all that makes real film. And that's why this movie is going to transcend genres, and this is going to be hopefully a little bit more of a where comic book movies are taken more seriously, because like, you know, when we first got comic book movies, you know, they were super campy, and you know what we're at now, I mean, they're the biggest blockbuster monsters ever. I mean, the Avengers Endgame is the movie. It beat Titanic, it beat Avatar, it beat everything. It did it, you know, and it's been like 17 or more years since there's been a top, and you know, now we're looking at a change of pace as far as like what we're going to get out of movies and stuff. And I just feel really lucky and blessed that we got this from DC, because they've had a rough kind of start as far as into, I mean, I like Batman versus Superman. I like Suicide Squad. I mean, I even got enjoyment out of Justice League, even though I've had a lot of problems with every one of those movies. Overall, I've enjoyed what DC has done, but this is going to be a whole nother level. This is a game changer. And like I said, man, there's no question. There's no question whether to go see it. I mean, we seen it in like the select seats where you can recline and stuff, and it was really, because it's a long movie, so I wanted to be comfortable. You know, we had our snacks and everything, but I mean, now that I've seen it, it would be awesome in IMAX. It would be awesome in any type of screen, as long as you're getting that theater experience. You know, everyone's getting to that point where I'll just wait for it on DVD. I'll just wait for it. You're not going to get that theater experience that is meant for this movie. I mean, you feel like you're there with Arthur when you're watching this film. You feel his pain. You feel the tension. You feel, you know, you feel his rage. It's just a different experience. So there's, like I said, go see it in any form that you can in theaters. It's magnificent. Like I said, it's a game changer. It's going to be renowned. This movie's going to be renowned. This movie's going to be thought of and looked at and tried to be replicated until the Hollywood, you know, runs it into the ground. In one day, it made $13 million. It set records all over the world. I mean, so I don't know what it's going to do over the weekend, but I wanted to get this review out there because I know a lot of people are wondering my thoughts on it, and everyone's talking about it. So, you know, let me know what you thought of it. Let me know if you liked it, if you hated it. You know, I've got the YouTube studio and stuff, so I can see you guys' comments now. I can see, you know, your likes and your subscribes. And I don't really do this for all that. You know, I do this, you know, my daughter thinks it's cool. That's why I started it. But I love movies and I enjoy talking movies with other people. So if you guys want to subscribe. I'm going to put movies on here. You know, I see anywhere from one to a couple during the weekend, and then I'll have my review shortly up after that. So I appreciate all the love, and until next time, guys, we'll see you at the movies.